all right. Testing, testing. Let me see something. Is it still saying? Oh no. Yeah, we're on.
What up?
What up, y'all? What up? What up? Please
We're back.
let us
It is
know if you can
three.
hear us.
Yes, I believe they can. We are on. I'm looking at it right now. What's up, guys?
All right.
It's React and Draw.
Why in the
We're
world
back.
are there two buttons to activate that? Well, I guess that's kind of cool. That's like super protection.
Yes, we trying new things. We had a premiere, huh? So if you're watching this in real time, we are leveling up our game here at React and Draw. Thank you for coming through in the lobby
Yes.
of our waiting for the premiere of our stream. And we'll be scheduling some streams in advance, just so you
Yes.
can see some of the hot topics that we have coming up in the future. Right now, we're trying for a different vibe other than different channels. You know what I mean?
Right.
I know, like, we're asking some hard hitting questions right now. We're trying to get to the root of what's going on in the West right now with something that, we are, I guess, calling, or what it is called, known as the Western aesthetic. What is the art style of the West? What does the West celebrate artistically in current times? And can it compete with the overseas market, which has come to the US? These are the big questions, okay?
Yep.
And Sean's going to figure it out. This guy below,
I'm gonna try to figure it out.
he has all the answers. He told me that he had all the answers, so he's going to provide it for you. And he's going to usher in a new renaissance
Me single handedly.
in
Like
America
I'm just go.
single-handedly. That's what he told me. He was,
I'm gonna try to,
he was watching, I don't know, best Kamehameha's video, AMV video on YouTube one day, and
Is
he
it? Hold on. Does
and
that
then
exist?
probably, and then
Watch.
was
I'm gonna go
listening
look
to,
it over right now.
yeah, he
Best.
was listening to best Kamehameha's AMV video with Linkin Park on it. He was watching that, and then he had an epiphany on how he's going to save the West from itself.
By the way, there is an actual answer to that topic.
Right.
Nope.
But anyway, guys, thank you for coming by. Alpha Proto is here. What's up?
What up? What up? Alfredo said, "Can we get some trance music?" I don't have any trance songs on deck. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Maybe we'll look at. Nah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's all good. So, what's up?
Oh,
Uh, the topic of the day: Can the Western aesthetic beat the East? Can it compete with the East? And we're gonna find out.
what is the actual?
Alpha Proto says they can't compete.
Mhm.
That's why they try to imitate it. Then they get called out for it.
Well, then what did we have? The Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider. That was calling themselves anime. Hold on, I'm gonna bring that up on screen.
Yeah, Sean found an article on Twitter, and it's for the upcoming Tomb Raider cartoon on Netflix.
Yeah.
They call it Tomb Raider anime. They
Straight.
say it's the new anime series. Now they did do this with He-Man, I believe. They called it a Netflix anime.
Hmm.
So what does that mean exactly? Does it mean that they're calling themselves anime? It's not animation. Anime is just the Japanese word for animation.
Yes.
But it's usually known as,
Japanese animation.
Japanese animation.
Here we go, y'all. It's this boom. So it's this. What it says: a new look at the Netflix anime series, Tomb Raider: Legend of Lara Croft. A new trailer will be released Monday, August 19th, in your email inboxes if you subscribe to the Society of Raiders newsletter on the official website. Oh, so this is like an exclusive trailer, so I can't even see it. I gotta go become part of the Society of Raiders. So I gotta become a fellow Raider. Is that how that works?
I guess so. Is that
I
like a
mean,
fan club?
I guess I don't really feel like signing up to, you know,
Give you a decoder ring.
like Captain
So that's
Planet.
Lara Croft.
That's Laura Croft.
All right, there you go.
It's funny. I'm just looking at this right. Yeah, I'm not even going to go into the comments because I know the. This is Twitter, y'all. Anything could be down there. People cursing, people saying slurs, OF model.
Yeah, if models are like, hey, you want to see me
Like,
as Tomb Raider,
yeah, like
me
I
or
look
the
better than Tomb Raider, and then like,
right? It says me or the Netflix subscription. They're
I actually have my sensitivity like bar on my Twitter, but you never know. Some stuff just kind of slips by. But this is their anime, bro.
well, I mean, there it is. Now there is a trailer in motion, but I guess we're talking about like what is the heart of this question, Sean? The Western aesthetic, right?
Yeah.
What is the Western aesthetic?
Mm,
Like what are we
I
doing?
would
What are
say
we
that the.
doing animation wise? I find like I find animation
Mhm.
in the West a very curious thing.
Yeah.
I'm mostly like a comic book person.
Right.
You know, now animation in the West is very interesting. It's mostly outsourced, from what I know. Like the day to day stuff is just outsourced to another country.
Right.
I guess the people who make the pitches, the actual money people, the producers, the writers,
Mhm.
are American, and I guess they probably have a storyboard artist, might be an American, to get the ball rolling. But the day to day, this that drawing has been outsourced and been that way for a long time now.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, at this point, Americans are now competing directly with cartoons that fully originate from Japan
Yeah.
more than ever before. You know, and anime has always been around in America. Ever since the days of Astro Boy
Right.
and Gigantor and Speed Racer and things like that. On television and whatnot. And then later in the '80s, they had crossovers like the Americanization of Voltron, the localization of Voltron,
Right.
localization of Go Lion, which became Voltron. Same thing with Macross and Robotech, and you know, and but then at the '80s, we also outsourced things to Japan, like our IPs, like Transformers and Thundercats. Was also animated. Day-to-day animation was in Japan, but the ideas originated in the West.
Yeah.
Later, this would be Koreans would also take part in the day-to-day animation, and now it's India and China also do the. But now it seems like, I don't know, fans, now that the internet and streaming has become popular, and it just seems that now they can just fully just watch anime and not deal with the West in any form. They can get the concept, the writing is all done there, the characters, they just import it here, and kids are perfectly fine watching it.
Yeah.
So
Like
now,
is. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut him.
yeah, no, that was it basically. What do you have to say?
Alfredo has some more words. I'm reading in a second. Like I'm okay. It's Tomb Raider, right? Like I'm trying to hold on. I'm trying to form my thoughts here. It's Tomb Raider, so now I got to worry about is Tomb Raider in the public consciousness, right? Like I feel like Castlevania like kind of took off. I mean, because
Well, Tomb Raider is still, a known IP.
it
They
is.
still make video games and movies, and it's still popular. A Tomb Raider anime could be cool.
Oh, of course.
You know, Alpha Proto says my definition is animation made for a Japanese audience.
Right.
While non-Japanese can enjoy it, it's not made for them. It says they say, he also says they throw the word anime around a lot nowadays. People often like to question what anime is. Some cartoons were animated in Japan, some anime is made in Korea. It's true, because there's a lot of outsourcing from everywhere. I guess at this point we will call Western
Hold
animation
on.
any IP and any concept that originated in the West that has Western writers at the helm
Right.
to do. And I guess the in between tasks can be done overseas, but it's still known as a Western cartoon. This, I would assume, in my eyes, would not be an anime, even though it might want to be seen as such, but
Right.
I don't think so. I wouldn't classify this as an anime because it's made by Americans.
I want to know who the animation studio of this is. I'm looking it up right now. Tomb Raider: Legend of Lara Croft is an upcoming American animated. Okay, that's fine. What is the who's the animation studio? Hmm.
So it's like, what happened?
In January 2021, it was reported that Netflix had ordered an anime-style television series based on Tomb Raider. Initial order for 2 seasons. The initial order was for 2 seasons and was co-produced by Crystal Dynamics and I cannot speak. Legendary Television, DJ2 Entertainment, and Tractor Pants. Animation was done by Powerhouse Animation.
Now, Powerhouse Animation, I think, is based in Texas, right?
Austin, Texas. Okay, so
Right.
yeah, it's
So this is like an American cartoon
yeah.
made in
Now,
America,
okay, no,
but they call it an anime.
they call it an anime. I mean, okay, I'm gonna say some from this. I'm gonna give a disclaimer right now, y'all. Like anything I say from here on out is gonna be opinionated. Okay, I would say that Powerhouse Animation is probably the close to animation style anime anime style that you're gonna get here made by Americans as far as animation goes.
I agree.
As far as I can see. Like, he like it looked good. Like, well, I would say the He-Man cartoon, as much as I did not like the He-Man cartoon, the look of it was good. Like it looked good.
Yeah.
The storyline was a whole other thing. I will say I liked He-Man's style more than the style that they're using here. I'm not calling this, by the way. I'm not saying this is ugly. It's not. It's it's a pleasant looking style, but I wouldn't particularly. I wouldn't look at this and say, "Oh, anime."
No, I mean, like, I wouldn't say it was either. Like, like, usually if you could tell, like, a difference, and this I could tell the difference.
Yeah, I mean, I could
Like,
pick
oh,
this
an
apart.
American, right? You could tell like an American drew this.
Yeah, like the chin is wider. It's based more on,
Right.
I guess, on it's less stylized. Now, this
Correct.
isn't to say there's a lot of Japanese artists that have varying styles in there, but I don't know. There's something about, like, some have more realistic styles. Some have
But I
more
would say
cartoony
even the most
styles.
realistic styles ain't resembling this.
No, like it doesn't resemble this. Like, what's the most realistic like manga artist? The guy who did oh man, I'm losing my brain here. It's late night, y'all. Y'all gotta give me a moment. Um, Brina's in the chat. What's up?
What's up? Says everybody want to make an anime and everybody want to make a manga. Now, if you're an American, even if you draw in a Japanese style,
Mhm.
isn't the fact that you live in America, your comics in English, and it's written in English,
Mhm.
make it just a comic book and not a manga? Isn't this cartoon, even though it takes influence from Japanese animation, I assume it will,
Yeah.
it's made in Texas. That's as American as it gets, right? That's what
Mhm.
they tell me. And wouldn't it just be like in a cartoon, like animation? I
No,
know what they mean when they say anime. Like, I'm not gonna dance around it.
so this is a very interesting point, and it's something. This is something that it's inherent to me as a fact Okay, for
Mhm.
instance, on my other channel, which I'll probably drop the link to, I just dropped a hypothetical. In fact, I'm gonna bring it up. I dropped a hypothetical comic book page of Goku Black versus Sukuna. Dragon Ball versus Jujutsu Kaisen. When I uploaded it, I didn't even think I labeled it Goku Black versus Sukuna comic fan page. Like I just said, it was like I didn't like in my head. I didn't say, "Oh, this is a manga page." Like this is not a manga page to me. They could say, "Oh, but Sean, your art is heavily influenced by by Japan." I'm like, "Yes, but I made a comic page. I have no idea what you want to call that. I don't know what is that called, American Pride or something. I have no idea. Look, I just call it a comic page.
Yeah, yeah, right. It's like
I
you
know
could
it's
have
a
called
comic
it
page. Like
manga.
it's
Yeah, it's like you're obviously not a Japanese man. You know what I'm saying? You don't live in Japan.
I'm not. I'm, by the way,
You
I'm not criticizing anybody who does, because I know there's people here that make that do web comics and stuff, and they like to, some might like to call themselves a mangaka or something like. But I don't know. I guess I'm very rooted in Batman and Spider Man. Like so, it's like yeah, I'm a comic book artist.
I mean, I get it though. Even Brina in the chat says, I get it from a marketing standpoint,
Hmm.
but don't understand the want to be considered an anime or a manga artist, I guess, in name. But I guess it is for the marketing standpoint because, like, they're trying to differentiate. I assume they're trying to differentiate between, especially in the animation,
Hmm.
like they figure like America, they don't really engage in, well, not lately, in adventure cartoons that are made for an older audience.
Yeah.
They're used to like Family Guy or something, or kids cartoons,
Right.
but not like action adventure. And they want to just say it's anime so that they can differentiate anime, even though anime has stuff for kids too. I don't really understand.
Hmm.
And that's like the generous answer. Maybe the other answer is just that they want to they know anime is popular and they just want to like get some of that money,
Get
so they'll just call
the.
themselves an anime too, so to blend in and get some of that loot.
I mean, that's more than likely
Right.
the issue. I don't know, but hey man, to
But it's so
me,
weird. It's like does them, are they trying to say that anime is synonymous with action and America is not synonymous with action? So once we do an action cartoon, we'll just call ourselves an anime because we only draw like goofy stuff here.
I guess to me, it's like first of all, I mean, obviously, y'all, I like anime, right?
Yes,
But
clearly.
I'm like, so that's my draw to anime. Like, can people say like, oh, you're just trying to ride the coattails of this success? I don't know. That's a first of all, I mean, I'm still have yet to see this, alleged success. By the way, if y'all want to see us succeed, put some likes on the video. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, like the video helps us on the algorithm, lets people know that this conversation is happening. We can continue the convo.
Right.
Like the video. Anyways,
But yeah, so what I was saying is I like anime. I like obviously I like certain type of, anime like shonen like uh anime, certain styles, like I graft to certain styles more. So if somebody would say, "Oh, you're just trying to coattail success," I'm like, "Well, that might be an unintended outcome of me liking anime." But what I'm trying to say is, instead of them just calling themselves anime and then drawing whatever they want, I'm like, why don't you just draw it like them? I don't know. I don't know if that's coming.
if you were an American drawing like an anime and you still like if you drawing like a Japanese art style
Hmm.
and then you called yourself anime artist or manga,
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why can't you just say you're a comic book artist or you're a or you do animation? Like,
Right.
it's like it's different when like Americans say I'm gonna go eat a taco.
Yeah.
They have to use like the Spanish word because they invented the taco.
Right.
Meanwhile, like I don't know if Japan invented the comic book that you would have to use their word and not ours. Like I don't know, like you know, we both have comics. We both have comics separately from each other. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
don't. We don't. It's not like they invented it and then like we picked it up like 20 years later. So now we use their word. Like I'm making a manga. Like we never use that word until I don't know. I guess American comics stopped selling as much. Is
But
that what's going on?
yeah, I guess what we're trying to say is like they're just using these words and these terms to try to get some like level of like new credibility.
Yes. Yeah. But
This
it's
is
weird. It's
weird.
just
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we said that
it's
it's
still
weird.
weird. That's and this
Like,
is the kind of stuff that we're talking about on this channel. Like we just want to get into the weirdness that you all feel. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you see
like
it and no
we're
one else
not
want to
bugging,
talk about
right?
it.
Like it's like
Right? Calling yourself an anime. What does it mean? First of all, a lot of these animation studios really, I get the vibe. You know what I'm saying? This
Mhm.
is where like I have no proof. I'm just gonna go off vibes and conspiracies and feelings right now. So disclaimer, there's no facts behind this. I'm
Okay.
just going off a vibe. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of people out there, a lot of youth, a lot of people growing up who grew up on anime
Mm-hmm.
and they started drawing like anime for
Mm-hmm.
fun. Or that's the style that they like.
Yeah.
And then they like cool. And then they got really good at it.
Yes.
And then they're like, they graduate from college. And then they're like, okay, I'm gonna go
Mm-hmm.
make a cartoon. I don't know. They're trying to live their dream or make a comic book
Yeah.
and submit it to one of these companies, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then when you start Googling the companies to apply to or Googling the comic book companies to submit to, you find out that not a lot of them have this art style, even though it's very popular around the world.
Yeah.
Like Mexico worships Dragon Ball Z.
Right.
They love it more than anything that the West has ever created ever.
Oh yeah.
Very popular around the world. But you start Googling like Image Comics, you don't really see a lot of like, manga styles, Dark Horse or anything like that. You don't see it. You know what I
No.
mean? You go to these anime companies like the Cartoon Network, they'll show an anime,
Mm-hmm.
but they won't have a cartoon made by an American that looks like an anime. Now, it took a long time for them to be some kind of like hybrid, like Legend of Korra or Avatar Last Airbender.
Mm-hmm.
And then usually there's not a follow-up after that either. It just ends there or something. It's like
Yeah.
few and far in between. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, and then when they have like Batman decides to break off from the Bruce Timm style
Mm-hmm.
and do Batman, they'll actually get a Japanese guy to do Batman Ninja.
Right.
But I don't know. It's weird. It's like, there's like a gatekeeping? It seems that there's been like a gatekeeping of like this art style, an American doing this art style officially as an
Yes.
American product. And now there's a weird thing now that Japan has just become popular because Americans are like, screw it, I'll just watch anime. Since anime is now like, I don't know, I guess dwarfing American adventure cartoons at this point.
I mean,
So much to the fact that they won't create them.
what adventure cartoons we
That
got?
now that America has given up and now calling themselves anime now because they lost so much ground and time through their stubbornness or something. I don't know. Like, I feel like there was some kind of barrier put up, This didn't happen in movies, by the way.
Right.
Like when Bruce Lee came over and started doing kung fu, we dumped whatever cheap choreography we did here. We integrated his karate into America.
Post haste.
But here it seems to be some weird thing going on. And now it's getting even weirder now that we're calling Americans fully produced in America anime now. And congrats that finally something's being produced in America is giving like American art students a job.
Right.
Only in Powerhouse Studios. I guess it's like, I don't know how many employees they got, but they're probably all filled up. The applications
They
up
got
to the roof.
watch. I'm gonna go look for fun on my off screen right now. Powers in the chat. I guess we should read some
But now it's like
comments.
we're getting to the point where we're actually producing adventure cartoons that are like on at least nearly on the level of Japan, and now we're calling ourselves anime, which is um I'm just puzzled, and maybe people in the chat can help me out. Hopefully any of that made sense.
I'm looking at the careers
Alpha
while you're doing that.
Proto says, yeah. Brina says, I even named my last video I drew Dashi and Corey like they were in a graphic novel. Alpha Proto says, I'm going to change my artist name to Yasuki and see if my comics sell better. True.
Oh no.
Very interesting. Brina Alpha Proto says, do you think the style to be enough to call something anime or manga? Yeah, I guess so. But then I think of the American style, and what is that? What is the American style at this point? What is the Western aesthetic? That's like the title of the video, and that's what I guess we're trying to figure out. And it'll probably won't be done in one day.
I'm sure that people would say rightfully so. Like anime has a lot of styles within it.
Sure.
Like Fist of the North Star does not look like Howl's Moving Castle, does not look like Akira, does not look like Dragon Ball. There's like all four of those things I just mentioned have like drastically different styles, but there's some common theme of I don't know what it is. There's a by the way, y'all, this is a hypothesis topic right now because we're still trying to battle through it ourselves, like trying to figure it out.
Yeah, we're all trying to figure it out in real time, but like I guess that's how the conversation has to start somewhere. I'm sure to like address the issue. And I guess it's like they seem to be unified by some kind of common identity, and Americans, I don't know, artistic identity is kind of fractured because what's an aesthetic, right? It's a lot of things. It's art style. It's what you choose to draw. You're making choices.
We used to have an aesthetic in comic books.
Correct.
Used to. In the 90s. We don't have that anymore. Which could have been fine. It could have been fine because like you could introduce like we had, your Todd McFarlane's and you guys know the Todd McFarlane's, the Jim Lees, the Mark Silvestris, and then Joe Mad came on the scene and he started mixing stuff in. He started mixing in anime and manga influence, but his funny enough, his thing was still called a comic book, right? And then that could have spun off into, I guess, like artists that you would see on Twitter nowadays, or even something to similar to what I'm doing here. But it started spinning into more cartoon styles, which is fine too, because artists I like Ed McGuinness and I guess I would count Ala Garza and artists like that, and that was cool. And then like superstar artists kind of disappeared, which was weird. I don't know what happened. Like all those guys I talked about, like they're still here, by the way. It's just like they stopped being featured. And then American style just became there was no style.
Or you could draw however you want and we'll just advertise it to make it a success. Like you'll have to start off with $1 million in order to make like $2 million.
Right.
Now in Japan, they have a system, right?
Mm-hmm.
It starts with the manga. It starts with the comic, right? It starts with the manga, and then it's popular. They put it out through Shonen Jump. The audience decides whether they want to see it or not. Mm-hmm. They get to vote. They get a survey. They get a voice. Whatever is popular then usually gets tapped to be an anime.
Right.
They're starting to do this with Webtoon, but it has to start with the manga itself.
Right.
Then when it's an anime, then the anime becomes popular. Then they can make merch and, yada, yada, so forth, right? Then they can make the movie, the animated movie, usually. In America, the art to, the comic to animation pipeline is fractured right now.
I guess what's their style? Did y'all see did anybody see the Concord animation? They had a little animation, like a little animated short. Like I think it was like 3 minutes long or something. We didn't play it on this channel because we didn't even know about it. That was after we watched the last batch of trailers with Amari and everything. Jabam, like, you know what I'm saying? But they tried to do their thing, I guess, but those designs.
So it's sort of like random, It's
Hmm.
like, oh, we'll adapt something that was old that doesn't even, it's not even published anymore. We'll try and make that into a movie,
Hmm.
you know. In Japan, it's like very clear. Oh, this comic book didn't sell. I'm not going to make the cartoon.
I mean
Oh,
that
this comic book is selling. This manga is selling. I'm going to make the cartoon.
that's just a regular business sense. You know what I mean?
Right. That's how they could track popularity. It seems like we got a lot of readers reading this, so we'll adapt it to make an animation. In America, I don't know. You can't even track comic book sales.
Yeah, because we used to have a list that tracked the sales, and now it's gone.
Now it's
So
gone. So it's kind of weird. Like, oh, is this comic book even popular? Is anyone even reading this anymore? Is it even popular? It doesn't matter. Like a comic book, like a Marvel character could be created,
Mhm.
and it's not even selling in the comics. It's not, now it's mystery sales, so now we even know if it's selling or not, but we assume that it's not, because if it was, they'd probably be bragging about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of apparent to when something like a title actually gets canceled. But yeah, I guess what you're alluding to is it won't do well. It won't be like well received. And then what happens, y'all? What happens, chat? We all know what happens, right? Hey, yo, we're gonna do the movie adaptation of. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why? No, no, we didn't want to see it in comic form.
Yeah, they're not listening to, like, they draw it as it should be. The comic should be a testing ground. It should be like to feel out if this thing is hitting with any audience whatsoever. That was the point. But now they just don't even care about that. Even if it flunks, they'll still make the live action version, and they won't even make an animation. They'll just straight go to
Live action,
live action.
like
Like, I
they
got a
going.
$300 million budget for Ironheart, and they're like, "Well, did the comic sell?" And it's like, I don't care. It's just like, so what's the point?
Is Ironheart
The,
gonna be a movie or show? By the way,
I think it's a TV show,
okay.
and I don't know if it's even
How
going to
many
come out.
people show hands
But
watching Ironheart?
or Echo or any of the characters, right?
Echo, I
Like,
forgot.
the main thing I'm trying to get at is, it seems in this country, there's in terms of mainstream book publication, there's no way to check if these art styles are even cool,
We used to be
or
able to check that.
right, or even a, I don't know, like a way to get people interested in reading a comic, or is it just like a formality to make a comic? Because believe me, back in the
All right, yo, hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Can you guys hear me? Let me see if the let me see if I could actually see.
yeah,
Yeah, I could hear you. I'm just trying to see if this the chat can is like. Let me see testing because I think we're still on. Okay, Brina's here.
What's up?
Why does it want to reconnect? Okay, I could see. Okay, cool. That was actually so. Then I think the way we're streaming is fine. Actually, that was not the stream.
Oh, what does it mean?
Oh no, that was just the internet acting up because as they do. I would love to see the.
So we're still live.
Yeah. We're still live.
No, I think. Are we?
Yes, we're still live. I'm
Oh,
looking.
okay, great. All right, cool.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I would love to. I'm looking at your chat from How Proto says Tomb Raider is trying to shut you guys down.
Probably they don't want the truth to be exposed. That's what he said.
I okay. Well, I can't see the chat here on the side, but I have another screen open where I can see the chat. So I'm gonna just leave it like that. Dan, you could see the chat on your end, right?
Yep,
All
I
right,
see
cool.
everything.
All right. Man,